Welcome to this special edited version of my interview with Rondalius Ryan, aka Lil Rod's family. This recording has been modified to remove certain portions to ensure respect, clarity, and accuracy in sharing their story. Thank you for tuning in and for your understanding as I bring you this important dialogue. Lil Rod's story has gained national attention as he was convicted of murder at just the age of 15 years old and sentenced to life in prison. At the time of his conviction, he was living with his mother and brother. Years later, he was added to the high-profile YSL RICO trial involving Young Thug. This attention opened our eyes to a deeply flawed investigation and inconsistent testimony from key witnesses. As a result, it became clear that Lil Rod is innocent, a victim of a system that sought to paint him as a criminal without properly examining the facts. Despite the state's efforts to cast him in a negative light, it is important to remember that Lil Rod is more than the accusations against him. He is a person, a son, a brother, and a young man whose life has been profoundly impacted by injustice. Now, hear directly from his family as they describe who Lil Rod truly is beyond the labels and accusations. Who is your brother?
LeRoy is a person. I feel like he's misunderstood in ways. Like, people don't know how intelligent LeRoy really is. Like, LeRoy was a nerd, A's and B's. He went to school every day. Like, he just got a light on him that that's not really who he is. So that's what I can say about Rod.
Yeah.
And my brother we really wasn't as like close, but we was close. Like, we just had a good time with each other. Like, even when he felt like he needed to talk to me about anything, it's just like little personal, like, one-on-ones we had. LeRoy was more like, he was more outdoorsy. Like, he liked being outside. He liked to play. He played the game a lot, but he mostly stuck to himself. Like, he was like to himself type of person. He really didn't too much care to really hang around people.
As the YSL trial unfolded, we began to hear rumors about Lil Rod's history. One being that at 11 years old, he was on the Atlanta news for being a runaway. Listen to his brother really describe what happened.
The incident report was true, but it was like kind of far-fetched. My brother, he just was outside late. Our mom, she got worried, so she kind of went overboard, but she did what a parent was supposed to do when a child ain't make it back in the house when the street lights come on. So that's all that was. She wasn't that strict, but she just, like, Raw was a baby. So you don't want your baby outside, but she wasn't too, like, hard on us, but it's just a respect level. That's how I put it. Like, you something you know not to do.
One of the reasons why Lil Rod is seeking a new trial is because he actually had an alibi for the night of the unaliving of Jamari Holmes. He was with his brother Diamante. Listen to him as he talks about that night.
We just it was a normal night. We played the game. He used my cell phone. We stayed up for a little bit of time, but he never left out the house. He never left out the house. They never got my cell phone and seen where LeRoy was at the time of location. Or they never asked me about his whereabouts. That's why it kind of made me upset. Like, why wouldn't you ask me about him? If I'm telling you I seen him the night of alleged homicide. I remember that day, like, I think his aunt called my mom. I guess she seen the news and whatnot, and she was like asking where Rod was at. And he came in the house like 2 minutes later. Normal person. But I remember hearing the call that my mom told me was just that he got charged for a homicide. And I was like, that's crazy. Like, that was unbelievable.
We know how that story ended. Unfortunately, he was found guilty of murder and was sentenced to life in prison. Prisons were not allowing the family to do visitations, so listen to how they chose to support him.
You know, he got love here. Like, I always been there for him, no matter what. And I always tell him just pray, 'cause I feel like God will allow him to have a second chance if he just pray like I tell him to.
You know, just words of encouragement, that takes him a long way.
So I just try to talk to him. Whenever he call, I just try to make sure he in good spirits. Like, I tell him this, I always tell him your story not over. Like, you bigger than this. Like, because the type of person he is, I just know that if he get his chance back at the world, they'll understand that he actually is a good individual. He actually does have goals. He's just not a statistic.
Going to jail at such a young age has to pose many mental challenges. Listen to how his family answers the question about how this experience has matured Lil Rod.
This experience has matured him a lot, going from, being a 15-year-old teen to being a 15-year-old inmate is a huge difference. He was forced to see and do things, like a normal 15-year-old would encounter in their day-to-day life. Like, he know more stuff than somebody who never probably been to jail have. So
Had to mature him in a way
yeah,
because he's so young. He dealing with all these grown men and stuff, and then the type of charge he got, it changed him. He understand like it's a lot that you could be tied into that has nothing to actually do with you, like even the Rico thing. Like I'm pretty sure if anybody watching, or I've seen people comment also like, there's no way a rapper will be around a 9-year-old, 10-year-old. Like they don't, just because you from a certain neighborhood don't mean you associate with everybody.
And here are more thoughts about Rod being a part of the YSL Rico trial.
I believe it's a good and bad experience because like on the good end, his story is getting out there. People is being able to like see what we've been seeing, but the public haven't been. It's sad to say the court make you look like the worst human being in the world, and it's just like people is being able to see like maybe he not that type of person that they trying to make him seem like.
For too long, the state was able to control the narrative on who Lil Rod was. Listen to his family tell you who he really was to them and information they want you to look at on his case.
He very smart. I can tell you that he's very smart. He would do what I asked him to do. Like, he was very respectful. My nephew don't deserve to be in prison, and I just hate that he had got himself caught up, hanging around the wrong crowd.
In the story and understand that a person, two teens got railroaded off of false accusations. So I do appreciate people looking at it and they get to see it from a point of view that inmates are getting treated bad. There's a lot of stuff that's going on in the justice system that's not right.
Yeah, he's just like a very smart person, very funny, very just cheerful. You know, despite the stuff that he's going through, he still, keep his head on 10, so that's a good thing.
But I just try to tell them stay positive, do what you got to do, and you'll be back. Like that's all I tell them. That's your story, not over, and you'll have another chance.
Okay, he wants to thank everyone, and one day he would like to get to talk to everyone and personally thank them for all the support, not only just from the start of the YSL trial, but now that the YSL trial is over with and he's trying to get the appeal. Yeah, he just thanked them for, not stopping at one case, still rooting to the end till it's over with.
Here's all the information you need if you want to help fight for justice for Lil Rod. Thank you all for listening.